Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone? Oh, a little warm. I'm going to get a quick sip before I get going. Mm. Happy Wednesday. I'll be honest, today is a bit of a humdinger for me. I seem to be back to back to back, but what that means for me is that I'm going to really uh, prioritize pleasure throughout the day. Like, how can I make it enjoyable to be in so many meetings? What can I do? Sometimes I'll light a candle, I'll make sure I have some tea with me. So I'll definitely be prioritizing all of that today. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. I've got some divine guidance for us today. And what came up for this week for our divine guidance is community. So there's community. And what was really coming strongly to me good morning, Jennifer. So nice to see you. So, what was really coming strongly to me today about this particular card, this message, is sisterhood. Sisterhood is a major part of tapping into our divine feminine. It's uh, it's just how women connect. It's how we go further. It's how we're stronger. You know what I mean? Like when we are together, when we work with each other, we are just so much more powerful. And we tend to do it with pleasure, right? When we gather, we have fun. Like I have a group of ladies, we make cards and we drink tea and we have all these little, goodies and we just have such a great time. And so that's, that idea, that sisterhood of coming together and being with each other. It's such a great part of that divine feminine. And on top of that, I had a sort of aha. What was that? I think it was around the summer, 2021 summer, where, I'm a nurturer. I know I'm a nurturer and I love it. I love that. I love to pour into people. I love to, like, once are in my realm, like that's it. You're getting poured into. Um, but at the same time, I've got to be poured into as well, right? And I sort of had this realization that, wow, I don't really have a community of people pouring into me. It just wasn't there, and I was pouring into a lot of people. So I had to be very intentional and go find a community. And so that's what I did. That was when I decided to invest in coaching. I knew it was a group coaching, and that was why I chose it. I wanted to be in this community of strong but vulnerable women who were supportive and amazing, and just of that same mindset of lifting each other up and building each other up, and just, again, being vulnerable and authentic and embracing that divine feminine. And I've got to tell you, that is what I did, and I have not regretted it a day since. It's just been so amazing to have this sisterhood. And yes, we do need each other, Jennifer. And I tell you, many of these women were in that retreat I went to in Sedona this past December. And there was, like, right at the very beginning of day one, we all, walked up and introduced ourselves. And it's so interesting because for me, in a group, it's like, hey, how you doing? Yep, yep, yep. Hello, hello. But to walk up and have all eyes on me, and I've been in this, like, that has been what I've been working on, that whole idea of being seen, right? And I did have some ahas about that in the retreat, as well as to where the initial where that I guess fear or reluctance, resistance to being seen originally came from. So it helped with that. But knowing that that was something that I was working on, the leader of the retreat, Elise, she had me stand there for a moment and just be seen and just let everybody look at me. And to have that opportunity to do that in such a supportive environment, so powerful, so powerful. And that's where, right there, the sisterhood, that pouring into you. And yeah, they challenge you, but they challenge you in a good way, the way you need it. And so this card coming up is showing me, and it specifically even said that the universe is providing the opportunity for you now, for sisterhood, for community. So I need you to seize it. Okay. Yeah, I don't usually say I need you to do something. Like, that's kind of a trigger for me, but I really want you. I really want you. But I would love, 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 love for you to take that opportunity. It will be so powerful for you. And then what's even funnier is, so the green witch, right? I love to pull a green witch card, see like what fruit or herb or what have you comes up, and it was mulberry, which, again, what are the chances of that? 100%, right? There are no accidents. I was just talking about mulberries like 2 days ago. We have not had mulberries in forever. When we lived in Florida, my neighbor had this mulberry tree that, oh my God. I mean, I guess they're usually bushes, but this thing like went up to the roof of her house, and we would like just be picking on that. It was so good. But another thing that we would get is dried mulberries. We had a health food store that in the bulk section, they had dry mulberries. Oh my gosh, if you've ever had that, they are so delicious. So good. They're kind of pricey, but worth it. So anyway, it was really funny when I saw mulberry come up. But what mulberry signified was wholeness. And I thought, wow. And there it is with our community, our sisterhood. Basically, that sisterhood, you tapping into the community, into the sisterhood, is completing you. It is helping you step into your power. Power in a good way, positive, empowered power, not disempowered, negative, tearing each other down power, right? There's a true power, and then there's a broken power. And we tend to associate with the broken, but that's not true power. So this is so important right now to really be tapping into that. And I don't, again, I wonder if it's just with that energy of the season pulling back, as we go inward and we're reflecting, and, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting, is just that as we reflect, sometimes we feel a little vulnerable, and to have that community where we know we're not alone. We're in this together, when you're looking at community and joining a sisterhood, you want it to be with women who are either further along than you are, or really on that same road, or a combination of both, because you want to be pushed, you want to continue to grow. And that's what this is going to let you do. You're going to be inspired, and you're going to see. And it's funny because that's a big mission of my Breakthrough or Bust podcast, is that sharing stories, all these people coming forward and sharing stories, because a lot of times when we're in that breakdown before the breakthrough, we tend to feel like it's just us. Like nobody else could possibly be going through this. Nobody else could possibly know what this is like. Nobody else has ever had like a difficult childhood, alcoholic parents, abuse, whatever, right? We think, oh, it's the shame of me. And it's not. We've all been in it, but we have this it's a cultural thing where we sweep it under the rug, and don't you dare, share the skeletons in the closet. And you know but what are we doing? We're just, you know, we're furthering that belief that there's something wrong with us. There's something shameful in our story, and there's not. Your story is who you are, and it's how you serve the world. So the more that you come into acceptance and alignment with that story and with who you are, the more you step into your power. So again, that wholeness, we're coming back into that complete power. And I just have to say, and I swear, I don't pick these cards. Like I don't like shuffle through and grab it and say, oh, this will be convenient. I really do like, authentically pull for the week. But so, if you are still searching for an opportunity and it resonates with you, yeah, definitely feeling the alignments in all areas. It's really so crazy, isn't it, Jennifer? Like, I am just hearing like the messages echoing, and it's so wonderful and it's so amazing. But yes, if you would like to, be part of a sisterhood, I have the Crave Call is actually this Friday, and it's such an amazing group of women. And it's just empowering you to have the life you crave. And we get past all the expectations and the programming and, the resistance and all of that stuff to really step into that, like, powerful goddess queen version of you that truly embodies it all, that has it, that knows that experience, that having everything you desire. And it sounds, so easy. Okay, I'll just be the goddess and go ahead and have everything I desire, right? That sounds really easy. But we know there's a lot that goes on to getting there. There's a lot of work that we do. And that's where we're in that community. And that's a big part of why I've continued to press ahead with making these groups. I know I've heard so much resistance from people like, oh, I prefer to have one-on-one. I don't want to be in a group. And I do have that available, but I still have the group, and I keep the group really affordable because I see the power in it. I see the magic that happens when we gather in that sisterhood. And you know and I just leave it there. I leave that open-armed invitation, that extension to you for when you're ready, because it's so powerful, and it's so worth risking the vulnerability. It just, I can't even explain it sometimes in words. So that crave call, our monthly crave call, is happening this Friday. And of course, I've been talking a lot about movement to tap into your intuition and your embodiment of that power. And so we're going to be doing some of that, releasing the resistance and stepping into just everything you desire. So good morning. I see, looks like Henry has joined. Good morning, Dot. It is so good to see you. Jennifer saying, like a portal opened up and a flood came rushing in. Yes. And, Dot saying, the energy needs the group effect. Yeah. Love you hold that space and stern suggestion. Thank you. Because it was one of those things where it would have been really easy to say, oh, forget it. It's not working. People don't want it, right? But I just kept witnessing the power of the group. And I said, I can't let go of this. I cannot do it. Well, I can. I'm not willing to. I'm not going to, because it's so magical. And yeah. And I love that about the portal. But can you? Okay, but yeah. I love that about the portal because, again, right? I have that whole podcast called Breakthrough or Bust, because we have that breakdown before the breakthrough, right? And the breakdown sucks. We know the breakdown sucks. But of course, as we get further along and we've had the breakdown a few times, we start to appreciate it. I know, like, when I start seeing everything go to crud, I'm like, oh, yay, breakthrough's coming, right? I put a positive spin on it. I get a little bit excited. I get this anticipation, like, oh, I wonder what's going to break through now. I wonder what's going to happen. And I get a little excited about it. And so I really feel like, as a community, like the whole community, not just our little communities, but as a world, not even just our country, but as a world, we have gotten to the breakdown phase of a lot of systems, programs, cultural influences, expectations, all of this stuff that really just don't serve us anymore. Lots of them. Okay. And I could get into tons of them. There's a lot of them that are just not serving us. And so it's starting to break down. But what you're seeing now is this echo, this light starting to shine. More and more people are awaking to their intuition, awakening to life doesn't have to suck. Like, look at all these people who just started quitting their jobs in mass exodus because they don't need to be abused anymore. I don't need to be in toxicity, right? So there's this light. We're waking up. The light workers are waking up. They're starting to feel that connection to God, and they're sharing, and they're all reaching out to each other. Everybody is awakening, and we're seeing that light. um Dot saying, yes, that message is priceless. Breakdown before the breakthrough spoke to me, and the unmaking finally seemed desirable and exciting to see what would survive and what was coming. Yeah. Love that mass exodus, Jennifer. Yes, freedom is more important finally. Yeah, the great awakening, and at the same time, a shift from old to new. It's happening, my loves. And so that's why I don't get so caught up. And I talked about this a while ago, when we rang in the new year and people are already talking about 2022 is going to suck. What are you talking about? Like, you haven't even started the year yet. How could you possibly know it's going to suck? But if you do know, if you are already saying it's going to suck, then it is going to suck because you've decided and you create your reality. So, all right, I say this with a lot of love. Whatever you're seeing in your world is a reflection of your inner. So if you don't like it, you have all of the power to change it. It's amazing how powerful you are. Okay. So sometimes it's a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow. I've had to do it. Take that look in the mirror. Why am I having all this repeated toxicity coming towards me? Oh, I've got worthiness issues. Okay. I got to work on that. Right. So it sucks to hear, but it's the best thing you can hear. It's so powerful, and it's how you're going to shift and change. And again, we come back to that community, right? That community supports you in doing it. Yes, the matrix mirror. Yeah, I'm telling you what, like I think matrix is my new like religion. It is. There are so many messages in matrix that really ring true. Um but yes, my loves, it's everything that is inside of you is what shows up outside. And so one of my absolute favorite sayings or mantras is positively expecting great results, right? So I am positively expecting great results no matter what I see in front of me. The universe is rearranging itself for my best interest right now. So every time something comes up, you get nervous about something, you start worrying, right? Now you're worrying, you're putting fear out into the world, right? Worry, angst, and that's what you're going to get back. But when you catch yourself and you tweak that and you turn it into, I'm positively expecting great results no matter what I see in front of me right now, no matter what, it undoes all of that. Dot saying, I was so sad for them. So many are living other people's condemnation and restrictions. You have to be a millionaire or you are not successful. Hogwash. I am on a mission to live with little and love it. And Dot, I challenge you to even go the next step further. You don't even have to live with little. Don't even put that out there. Fear, turn around and face makes a reef. Yeah, I say, Dot, you deserve and are worthy of all of the abundance in the world. And you don't have to pick and choose your abundance. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, I have a happy, loving family life, so I don't have money. No, you get them both. You get them both. It is absolutely possible. Just tap in. You get to have the life you desire because your desires only come to you because they're meant for you. That's divine talking directly to you. This is what you deserve. This is your birthright. Okay? So I challenge you to even expect all of the abundance, all of it. It's there for you. I actually just recently did for the most recent Breakthrough or Bust. I think it was released last week. I shared my money story, which was a little bit vulnerable because that was the first time I shared that publicly. And yeah, that was a big one for me. A lot of old stuff. And I've done a lot of inner work to come through and get to a place. And I could just say, okay, I'm good here. But it's human nature to desire more. And that's okay. It doesn't make you greedy or bad. The more impact, right? Or the more that you're desiring, the more impact you can make. Right. So, like this past week, we had Betty White's birthday and it was $5, to donate. Well, I did a lot more than $5 because I felt like I could. And so I made a bigger impact than the $5. And that felt really good. So that's it. Oh, yes, abundance, just dirty money is not the wealth I need in my pockets. I get to manage some other people's wealth. I do the work they pay. Yeah, it is okay. And it's an energy exchange. And I need to like wrap it up because I got to get on my next thing. But I like totally go into a whole coaching session today. I told you guys, when you come into my realm, you're going to be loved all over. Um, so the one of the things that I realized is that I do that, right? That energy, as soon as you come, I am going to pour into you. I'm going to love all over you. Right. And I know you're one of those people, Dot, too. Right. Jennifer, you too. I know. And anybody who's watching this is probably much the same. Once you get a client, when somebody comes into you, you're going to love all over them and invest in them. But they've got to pay you because it's an energy exchange. And I've learned the hard way that when they don't exchange that energy, you're investing in them more than they're investing in them. You can't do it for them. They've got to be invested or they're not going to do it. And you can't do it for them. You can love all over them, but it's really going to feel depleting and it's going to really zap your energy because they're not willing to invest in them. So it's really important to have that quid pro quo, right? That back and forth exchange. And I had to, like, again, I had to work through a lot of money mindset stuff and invest in myself for that community, right? That I talked about earlier today. I'm telling you, it's coming back to community today. And I had to, like, I invested more than I ever thought. Like, I remember scoffing at people for investing like half of what I invested, like, oh, and I went and did it. And I was like, whoa, wait, what did I just do? And I was nervous and I was like, oh my gosh. But when you have that excited nervous and you can feel it, it's okay. When it feels constricting and like, oh my God, oh, then it's not in alignment. But when you feel that excited and like expansive energy, it's in alignment. Yes, you're not helping them taking that away because no one else will. And you're shortchanged and divesting yourself and those who care for you. Yes, yes, absolutely. All right, my loves, I've got to run. I'm actually going to meet with somebody else who's sharing their story for Breakthrough or Bust. And, I put that out there to you. I love, love, love. If you want to share your stories, love to hear them. They are so helpful. It's part of the community again, right? And like I mentioned, the Crave Call is this Friday. If you would love to join me, check it out, mycrave.club. Get some more information there. Would love to have you because I know if you're being drawn to this, you are part of that community. Okay, my loves. I will see you next Monday. Have a great week. Mwah! Bye.